Hi everyone, welcome to SportsKhabri with me, Aradi and Rishi. We're just a day away from India's tour of Sri Lanka. We're starting off with the T20Is, and both teams have announced their squads. We've already gone through India's squad in an earlier video. We've already spoken about the major changes. We know Surya Kumar Yadav is going to be leading this Indian team. Similarly, Sri Lanka have also got a big change in captaincy. Charit Asalanka will be taking over as T20 captain. So that's big news for both teams. And yeah, I think all in all, we've got a fair bit to discuss. Rishi, from a T20, like we're of course this is just the T20 preview. So yeah, dude, three T20s, and the schedule is quite interesting because you've got two games in two consecutive days, and then you've got a day's break before the third T20, which could possibly hint at the fact that India might choose to rotate before the second T20. But yeah, all in all, how does it look to you, and how do you think this is going to go?
I mean, it's going to be the first time we're seeing Gautam Gambhir's India side. It's going to be not an exact blueprint of what his sides look like, but it'll be a good start. It's going to be almost like a curtain raiser. It'll be exciting to see. You know, Surya Kumar Yadav's first series as captain and quite a few fresh faces. And as per the press conferences, they want to what was the term? They want to nurture young players like Riyan Parag, right? Harshit Rana. So we'll see how they'll manage. And we have a strong squad, so it doesn't look that concerning. So unless any major upsets, I think we should be able to comfortably take home the series. I don't think there'll be any major upsets. Yeah.
Yeah, for Sri Lanka, at least a couple of big calls that they've taken. Sadira Samarakrama 6 out, and so does Dilshan Madhushanka. So it's interesting because your I think I would say that one of their top left arm options, Madhushanka, is not in the squad. Is a weird, but anyways, uh, they've still got enough fast bowlers in their team. They've got Chamira back. They've got Nuwan Tushara, Patirana, I think will be the three quicks who will be probably starting most games. And then you've got Tikshana, you've got Velalage, Hasaranga, three spinners. So I think they're also all bases covered. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they provide. Rather, from an Indian perspective, what sort of leader do you think Surya is going to be? We've not seen it ever. So how do you think he's going to approach this series?
Bro, see, that's the thing, right? It's coming into the booths of Rohit Sharma without Virat Kohli. It's going to be a different Indian team. To be fair, this Indian team where, they play T20s without Virat, Rohit, has been against lower level teams. Maybe the last time was West Indies. They played the island. Now they're playing Sri Lanka. And Surya coming into the series as a captain, right? It's going to be interesting because India's a champion team, right? When you look at that way, people would say there is not much to change from what's already been done. I mean, if you're looking at India, that the T20, World Cup winners, if you're a champion, generally we see every time when you're a champion, there's nothing to do much than just continue that same, process, the same thought process, and that philosophy, right? But we have to put in context now. You don't have Rohit and Virat. Now, if you're taking these two main players out, it's almost like we can say India team is a championship team, but without Rohit and Virat, I don't think India would have been the World Cup winners, in the previous World Cup. So in that sense, there has to be some form of rebuild phase in terms of that. I think with Surya becoming the captain, I would like him to be more aggressive as a captain in terms of trying to make it's a bit of both, right? It's more about I think from now it's going to be more about how Gambhir takes that philosophical change, puts in that philosophy into Surya, supports Surya, and Surya. It's going to be a team effort. I feel like previous years we've always had this say that okay, the captains are very important, right from at least recently Dhoni, he's the one who put his own culture, his own thought process. Then Virat came. I think with Virat it was a bit of both, like Shastri always supporting what Virat wanted, right? And then Rohit Sharma with Dravid. There was always a lot of captain input. But now I'm really looking the way India is setting up. I really think it's going to be more of a coach input than a captain input. And in that sense, what I just would like is India playing more aggressive in T20s. I think that's something I've not been able to see India play for a while. Just aggressive cricket overall. Because right from not this World Cup, even the previous World Cup, like the ODI World Cup, apart from Rohit Sharma in our team, I don't think any of us were aggressive enough overall, right? The conditions helped. Rohit Sharma, giving a good start helped them be aggressive to an extent. But that psychological intent of, if you're playing T20, let's be aggressive, let's score runs. Because you see how Gambhir played with KKR, the way he instilled that cricket of you be aggressive from the get-go, use the power plays. I think India's not been able to do that in T20 a lot. This World Cup, they were okay with it. Previous World Cups and previous T20s, where you have, them playing continuously, at least in the top level, I've not seen that from India, especially in the power plays. So we are coming in. I want something where like India's ready to, go from the get go. Because again, we're getting in Gill, bro. And when I look at Gill, he's another guy who's very traditional. He's not a guy who's going to smack from the first ball, right? And then your other opener is going to be Jaiswal, most likely. With Jaiswal, I think he still doesn't have the consistency and he doesn't have the maturity to play the power play fully. Like you might get one game where he's banging every ball. Second game he can hit 1-2 balls and then he just gets out. It's very inconsistent. So I think that Surya being there to help these guys play some brand of cricket, consistent brand of cricket in T20 is important because T20 is going towards that phase where everyone wants to be aggressive. Scoring 180, 190 is not enough at times, and teams can chase it down easily. So if India is more prepared in terms of batting high scores in T20, I think that's somewhere they have to work on. And I would like Surya, to pushing more into that phase of cricket where you're more aggressive.
Yeah, and on that note, let's just quickly build India's potential 11 at least. So I think the top four picks itself, Rishi. You've got Gill and Jaiswal at the top. Rishabh Pant is going to play at number 3. We saw that in the World Cup. Surya is going to probably come in at 4. It also seems like it's a given. Now, 5 and 6 is where it's interesting. Your options, of course, are plenty. I think number 7 will be Akshar Patel, no matter what. Again, if you guys want to lock that in, I think we can do that as well because I don't think anybody else. He's going to be that floater. You come in and bat whenever the team needs him. So 5 and 6 is interesting because you've got Rinku Singh, Riyan Parag, Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dubey, Washington Sundar, and Sanju Samson. And you got 2 spots.
I mean, see, it also depends. See, we can try and discuss how our version of the team would be, and we also have to consider how much the Indian, the squad, the selectors, the coach, they are in what direction they are going. So they were already mentioning that young players like Riyan Parag are pretty much going to be nurtured for a while. So I feel we're at a point where he's going to get a consistent run in the team, and so I would most likely think that there is a place for Riyan Parag in the lineup, at least for the first couple of ODIs. I mean, first couple of T20s. Riyan Parag, and eventually we're going to have a wicket keeper. So Rishabh Pant's place is also pretty much secure, but Rishabh Pant is much higher up the ladder. And
yeah, exactly. So which is why I said the top 4, I don't think it changes, right? You've got the 2 openers, Rishabh Pant and Surya. Surya has to play as the captain. Pant has to play as the keeper.
He's pretty much a keeper, yeah. And see, we also have, at least, if not for the long term, at least for now, we have Hardik Pandya. And I don't think after, the final couple of games that he's had against in the World Cup, the almost kind of not entire redemption arc, but at least he seems to be in the middle, or he seems to have kickstarted the redemption arc for a pretty decent performance. He's put forth a really good bowling performance in that final as well. So I would feel the team would the selection, the committee would give him at least 1 or 2 or 3 games, for him to.
What about then? That begs the question, Adi. What about Rinku Singh? Because dude, he made the reserves ahead of Riyan Parag, and if Riyan gets the nod ahead of Rinku, I think there will be some conversation to be had there.
See, that's the thing. See, firstly, if I'm frankly to be honest, I don't think Riyan Parag has a spot in this batting lineup at the moment because he's not naturally a number 5. He can't come at that position. And if you're talking about Riyan Parag, you saw him in the IPL. He used to come number 4. sometimes number 3 also. Actually, number 4 most of the times. And you've seen him, he's a guy who takes a lot of time to start hitting, at least from this IPL, what I saw previously, right? And I don't think that spot for the Parag at the moment is there. I think he has to still prove a lot of cricket, consistent cricket. For it to be fair, he has to prove a lot of consistent cricket, not only for India, even for your IPL franchise where it's the highest level of cricket. For him to be considered for this Indian team, if I'm being honest, like Riyan Parang in the team itself is a big stretch in terms of the quality of players we already have, and then him starting will be like it's just too early for him at the moment. He still has to prove a lot. And again, if you're talking, have to look at roles now. I mean, if you're saying, we're telling, we would like Riyan Para coming in as number 5. He's a guy who's not going to hit runs, easily. I would rather have a guy like Rinku Singh or Dubey who can come off and hit sixes, fours instantly if it's needed, right? I think Parag has not been in that role consistently for Rajasthan and not done it enough for him to be like, yeah, you can come at a lower order of number 5 and take it forward from there. So in that sense, I think Rinku Singh still deserves it, at least from what we've seen. And in terms of Riyan Parag, I still want to see where India is looking towards, like, because you can see the coaching staff back him a lot. I think the selectors, Gambhir, I don't know who it is taking that decision, but from their point of view, they are impressed with Riyan Parag.
Adi, he has played finishers role. I mean, until this year, he never was.
But he's not been consistently doing that, Rahul. That's my point. Are you saying if you want a finisher's role, Dubey has been proven a lot. Rinku Singh has proven himself a lot. Even Hardik Pandya has proven himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Riyan Parag had a good IPL 2023 as well, where he batted at 6 for Rajasthan.
2023 but it was not enough, and that's my point. If you're looking at
Parag, it was enough, dude. I think
purely merit based, I feel Rinku Singh has done it consistently. Like, of course,
exactly.
You can say that maybe in this IPL he didn't have a great IPL, but he's been with the fray. He's been with the setup for a longer period of time.
He didn't need to. Rinku Singh didn't need to have a good IPL because of the batting performance of KKR anyways. And whenever he's played, he had pretty important knocks. But my point is, with Parag, dude, he's come on merit on basis of his performance in IPL 2024, right? That's the whole point. And when we're looking at 2020,
I think he's had a good 2-3 years in the IPL. I don't think it's just the previous.
But look at Rinku Singh.
Also in the domestic cricket as well, Parag has performed really well, like this year.
Yeah, but even Rinku Singh has performed well domestically. Both of them have great numbers. We're looking for a guy who would come into number 5 role and be there consistently there.
No, but yeah, I think Parag, Parag, it is a lot of this year's sort of emotions that have played over, probably, yeah.
Exactly, but then we look at what Parag's role was this year, where he's been his highest peak success, whatever it is. It is coming from, a number 4 position. I'm not saying Parag can't play number 5, but from what we've seen, it is not fair for the Indian team selectors or us fans to be like, Parag needs to be given a chance over Rinku Singh.
Yeah, 100%. I think he will be given a chance.
And it was not only 2023 season. Rinku Singh performed pretty good for India also. He's done well. He's done well even in this IPL to the extent of what he had to do. In terms of that, I still don't think Parag is there at the moment to be, pushing himself into the 11. I still think even Dubey, even though he had a tough World Cup, I think there is still a player in him. I think if you push him and give him the right confidence, he can also do a very good job at number 5 as a power hitter. Because we saw in 2023 the way he batted for Chennai. Even last year for CSK, he was incredible, at least the first half of the season. So there is players who have done more over their career and been more consistent against the top teams, top players. At least from what I've seen I would rather push, if not Dubey, Rinku Singh, at least let's see how that works out. If he doesn't work out, then, we can see how we can integrate Riyan Parag. But bro, I really believe there are a lot more T20 players.
No, I think Rinku Singh is going to get the nod. I agree as well, because I think 5 and 6, you're probably looking at Pandya and Rinku, and they'll see how it goes. Maybe Akshar comes in if there's an early wicket and bats at 5. So he's got that floater. So you've got the top 7 set there.
So
and then you're looking at 4.
If you're just to assume that Rinku Singh has been given the nod. That means we're gonna have 4 left-arm batsmen compared to 3 right-arm. Just saying. So we're gonna have
That's
Gill,
okay, no? That's okay
Gill,
as long as there
Style,
is a
and
righty
Hardik
lefty,
Pandya.
but that's okay as long as there's a righty lefty
Yeah,
interchanging
yeah, yeah.
in the order. Like I think
Yeah,
that's
so I
only
know
a good
I
thing.
was saying that as a positive itself. We're gonna have that this one keep like coming like with the flexibility of Akshar Patel being able to float in anywhere. So I
Correct,
think
correct,
that is
correct. So
amazing.
that's true. So yeah, so we got the top seven ready. You're going to off. I think Ravi Bushnoi plays. He's the only leg spinner in the team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's your eight.
Arshdeep
Then
and
I
Siraj are
think
also pretty much nailed on.
yeah. So Siraj and Arshdeep are in for sure as your two
Mm-hmm.
seamers. The only decision I think you have left to make is to play the extra spinner in Washington Sundar, or
Watching
whether you want an extra seamer in Khalil Ahmed. And looking at Sri Lanka squad, I think there's a likelihood that India will go with an extra spinner because
extra spinner,
Sri
yeah.
Lanka have gone very spin heavy and they always do. And we know Sri Lankan wickets turn. And there's a good chance that I think Washington Sundar and also gives you a little bit more batting. So maybe Washington
Mm.
Sundar. You guys think Washington or Khalil? Like which who do you guys take out of the two?
We have already pretty much Hardik Pandya also giving us the third
Yeah, you
pacer
have the
option.
third seam option exactly. Yeah.
So why do we really need to go for 3 locked-in pacers and then Hardik Pandya? Like it's pretty much if you're having Hardik Pandya at this point, it's more if not if for his bowling, it's like almost like his guaranteed 4 overs. So I don't think we need to really push in a spinner friendly country like Sri Lanka. I don't think at least the first few games. I don't think we need to really push it and play an
Yeah,
extra pace.
yeah, fair enough. I agree.
Bro,
And
but I still think we'll play. The point is, why would you need uh, Washington? We already have Akshay Patel. We already have,
Bishnoi.
Bishnoi most likely.
yeah,
So I
but
think,
six
I
bowling
think,
option. You don't
but
have
my
a six
point is
bowling option.
for me, I don't think Hardik Pandya at times can finish his 4 overs kind of bowler.
No, that's the
Maybe
point. That's why you have a sixth option. That's why you have Washington
I think we
probably
have two
bowling.
I would rather
confirmed
have a pacer
pacers,
because of
two
the fact
confirmed
that
spinners,
Hardik.
or we have two like confirmed pacers and
I
three
know,
spinners with the option of if needed a third pacer.
Yeah, exactly.
but see, we'll have to see how the Sri Lankan pitches are. I mean, generally they are very slow and spinny basically.
Hmm.
But if I'm talking about balance, but we have to also look at long term. Like, would you guys have Washington Sundar in the squad in terms of what as an all rounder, batting all rounder? Like, bro,
He's a
I
bowling
don't know about
option.
Washy, bro. Like, I've not. It's been a long time since he's had a good IPL or a good consistent performance
Dude,
anywhere.
that's the thing. Washington Sundar goes under the radar a lot, especially this season he has because he's played for Sunrisers and I mean, there is no chance for
But
him. There is no
but
opportunity
in
for him.
this SRS team, I still think Markande had a better season with what they had
Dude,
than a guy like Washi. I still
that's my
think
thing, dude. Like,
bowling wise, he's not
leg spinners will
been
obviously take the limelight over a finger
I
spinner. That is always
fair
bound to
enough.
happen.
I know, but my dude, that's the thing. For me, it's always with Washi, even with when he was in RCB. After a point of time in T20, I don't think it suited him well, bro. Like that's my thing with Washi because
I
in
think he's going to get a
T20,
goal for sure in this
sorry.
series. I think he's going to get a go
He is because he
because it is
he
Sri
performed
Lanka.
pretty well with Zimbabwe, and suddenly him coming into the squad after having poor IPL also shows that again these guys are looking him into the so-called long-term point of view, at least from their decisions. And bro, I don't know why with Washington, I just feel like with batting he just doesn't have it in
Yeah,
T20 at least
I agree.
in
Yeah.
T20. And with bowling also, he's not the best option, bro. That's the thing. I feel like even with RCB as an RCB fan, whenever I used to watch him, he was okay, but he's a guy who can also get smacked in a T20 game. And if the game is coming too fast for him, he doesn't have that patience or he doesn't have that variation for him to change something, etc. That's why I would rather have someone like Kadir because bro, look at the IPL he had. Like, even though he was a bit expensive, he got important wickets. And the way he was bowling was very aggressive bowling. And I would like to have someone like that. When I know my other options is Siraj and then Hardik Pandya and, Arshdeep Singh. I feel like these guys can all get smacked in terms of runs, like in terms of they can all leak runs. And I feel like Khalil Ahmed is a guy who can at least somehow get certain good wickets. And at least like the way he balls, it's a very aggressive. It's very He's not scared to ball, short balls. He's not scared to change the variation. I think with having Siraj, I always want a bowler pacer who can vary, has a lot of variation, because with Siraj in T20 we've seen him, like, guy just goes 150 mile per hour no matter what. He's not going to think, he's not going to change anything. And because of that, bro, at least without Bumrah, I feel like these bowlers are very inconsistent. And keeping that in mind, I would rather have, like, Khalil Ahmed, and I would give him a chance anyways, because I
Yeah,
think he's
I think he will get a go. Like I don't because you played 2 games in a row. I'm sure Khalil is going to get a game.
yeah, because
In a row.
anyways he's a left arm pacer also. I think that would help maybe in terms of pushing him into the 11.
Maybe yeah.
But with Washi, at least for now, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just not, I'm not like very satisfied or very like sure about that decision.
Anyways, guys, that's what we have. We've got the T20 series, which is going to be up and running. So yeah, let us know if you think certain players should make it over the others in the comments below. And yeah, like and share the video, subscribe to SportsKhabri. I will see you soon. Enjoy the India Sri Lanka series.